Hi, I made a whole new set of trimming tools out of stainless steel, and I'm going to give it a try. This material will be nicer than the hacksaw blade because the hacksaw blade is kind of rusty after use. So I'm using a new material. It's made out of stainless steel, and I'm going to use a couple of them to try to trim this noodle bowl. Okay, first I will try to center my bowl. The method I use to get my bowl to stick on the wheel head is by just using water. Okay, tap sander. If you want to know how to tap sander, how to learn how to tap sander, just check my previous videos. I show you how to practice them. So use water. Of course, if you are not, you haven't learned how to tap sander, or if you are worried about it, you can use a coil to try to anchor your bowl on the wheel head too. But I think the water does good, especially when I have a porcelain. My rim can clean up easily after I finish trimming. Okay, so this is the porcelain bowl, noodle bowl, so I'm going to trim it. This is the number 2 trimming tools that has a bit shorter cutting area, so that it's a little bit more not as flexible as the number 1, which is longer. It's easier to get the chattering mark. So when I'm holding the tool, usually this is one way to hold it. Use my hand to grab it. Or there's one other way to do this, like you're holding the pencil. So I'm holding this way, and usually I have my left hand holding on the surface of the bowl while extending my left thumb here. So I'm going to use my left thumb to anchor, to hold, to kind of use that to support my tool, so that my tool it's easier, it's stronger. When cutting using number 2, there are a couple ways to do it. One is you can go from this way, from the top to the bottom, and you can go up to. Okay, so go down, and then you can turn your trimming side from the bottom to the top. That is when your piece is small, but if you have a bigger piece, your thumb cannot extend it. And this is the way I usually do. I use my fingers to hold it here on the surface of the bowl and try to stabilize it. Okay, the fingers is holding there, and just trim down. And use my finger to touch the surface and move tool slowly. And remember, if you want your surface nice and smooth, make sure when you are moving your tool, you want to move it slowly. Move your tool slowly, but spin your wheel a bit faster. That's the key to get a nice smooth surface. Spin wheel faster, move the tool slowly. Okay, and for here on the bottom foot ring, I usually like to use, there's a little angle on my trimming tool. I like to use a little angle here to cut it so that there's a little indent here. And this is where when I'm glazing it, the glaze, it's easy to stop right here. So I cut a little indent here. Okay, and since I'm cutting this piece off the hump, so the surface, the bottom is not as flat as you are throwing right on the wheel head. So the very first cut, I usually like to go deep a little bit, go down a little bit, and then try to remove. You're going to place your tool right on top of it, then your tool is going to go wave as the wheel spinning. So your tool is going to just sit on top. So if you're going to cut the flat surface, you're going to go underneath, you cut a little bit more, and then you gradually move your tool to the side. That way you can flatten the bottom. And usually you want to flatten the bottom first. Right, and then now I want to define my foot ring. So usually I have my fingers, the middle fingers, hold it on the side of this foot ring, and then just draw a little line here. So I have a guideline that this is going to be my foot ring here. So I could remove the clay in the middle. And when you are removing the clay from the middle, usually I'm using the corner of this trimming tool. Try to stop in the center. You want to go over on the left hand side. You want to start to cut from the right hand side. So you go kind of holding the tool like an angle. You cut it from the center, and then once you drag your tool, you're gonna go kind of make it flat. First you make an angle, and then you make it flat, and you go like that. And you have to hold your tool very tight, otherwise it's easier, the clay might drag your tool. So that's why I told you that try to get a thumb so that you have a support. And as long as your tool is very sharp, it's very easy to go cut deep. And for checking the thickness of the bottom, I usually just use my finger to tap it. But if you are a beginner, I have a method to show you that the measurement, that you can use a ruler and a chopstick. You can measure the thickness of the bottom of your pot. Just check my other videos that I've been showing a couple times in different videos. So the bottom, it's kind of thin already, so I will have to stop. And also this is a good tool, that because this is a 90 degrees, so I can use my tool to go to the corner, so the bottom corner is nice. In 90 degrees. And I usually like to round the corner, because if you corner this corner is too sharp, you're gonna use it every day, so you know it might bump and it's easy to get cracked. So if you round the corner, it helps a lot. By just placing your trimming tool at an angle, you can round the corner easily, and also the inside to round the corner. So my food has been done, and I still want to remove some clay from the side, so that my bowl is not very heavy. And the good thing for using water to hold my pot is that I can trim all the way down to the bottom. Especially for the very delicate pieces. Of course, for the bottom part here, usually if you are throwing on the wheel, you make this pot nice and perfect. You don't need to really trim this part. But for me, I usually like to get a little bit detail there, so I'm using the water to hold my pot. It's also it's very smooth on the surface already. And if you think your surface is a little bit rough, you can use the a little small piece of rubber rib to compress it and compress the surface to make it a little bit smoother. Especially when you want to do a little bit of chattering, or some texture on the surface, which I will do the next one. So I burnish. I use a little shiny rock and try to round the corner and compress it. Burnish the foot. This bowl is finished. You can keep a little bit like that, but usually I like to put my signature technique on top of it. I I'm going to make some chattering mark, especially on the bottom portion. So this compared to the other one, this I call it number 1, and this is number 2 trimming tool. This one is a bit shorter. Usually I use the shorter one, it's stronger and it's not vibrating, and I can trim it nicely. And then this one is longer, so it's easy to get vibrate while I'm trimming. So that's how I try to get the texture, the nice chattering texture, by using this vibrating trimming tool. So basically I'm going to hold my trimming tool, hold it at an angle, so when I'm cutting, the click kind of pushing back my tool, and this tool is, you see that it's kind of bouncy, okay, it's bouncy, so it's gonna jump, okay. And the jump, if you hold it at a certain way and spin your wheel fast, you can get a very nice texture on the surface of your leather hard pot. Okay, so I'm going to spin my wheel a bit faster, and I'm going to cut it. Okay, I usually like to chatter about halfway. So this is the chattering mark, and I usually would like to use a corner of my tool to kind of cut in 2 lines here to kind of separate it. This is the chattering texture, and this is the plain surface. Actually, I'm going to use the same tool and cut in a different texture, different chatter mark on this part too. Okay. And this time I was holding the tool this way. This time I'm going to hold the tool this way, okay, sideways, so that the tool kind of vibrate. Okay, and you want to vibrate. Get it vibrate, so you're gonna hold your tool kind of loosely, so it start to vibrate, and you will hear the sound of chattering. Okay, one more time I could cut it. Okay, and now I will use the brush to okay, the whole piece is done. I usually have my stamp. I stamp mine as a signature of my pot. Stamp it right on the foot. So I have someone carve this is made out of ox horn, and carve it out, and a tiny little one, and I have a larger one. It's for the larger piece. The smaller one I usually stamp it right on the foot. Okay. So after I finished trimming, I told you that this piece was holding by using water, so when you remove it, kind of hold down the pot and spin the wheel and kind of twist. Okay, twist, so you can remove it from the wheel head. And I told you that I have a porcelain, so it's easier to clean the rim of my bowl by simply use the sponge. If you have a stoneware, I would suggest you use a paper towel instead of a sponge. That way, paper towel will create some slip, and you can have a nicer smooth rim, because your stoneware is kind of rough because you have a grog inside. So this is the finished part. You can see the whole shape. And let me bring it closer so you will be able to see the chattering mark, one on the bottom, and a little bit the straight chattering mark on this portion. Okay, so this is the I'm trying using a new stainless steel trimming tools. I use only 2 of them. Actually, I have a set of 5, and there are some other way that you can do using different shape of the trimming tool to get your job done easier and faster. Okay.